The nervous system is actually where you experience all of your pain. It's where you experience all of your emotions, really, your joys, your happiness, etc. But it's also where you experience all of your fears, your anxiety, your doubt. It's where your triggers really come to the surface, everything from the nervous system. And actually, if you watched my previous video, you would have learned where your triggers are actually coming from, which we'll talk a little more about today. And I gave you a two-step trigger formula, which you should go back and watch and take note of and practice because it could be life changing. But what I want to give you today here is the 16 seconds of breathing that can take away all your pain, that can take away your fears, your anxieties, your doubt, everything, because I have practiced this 16 seconds religiously. And so I'm going to give this to you in just a little bit. I want you to bring your book and your pen again to write this down if you need to. But you and I are going to practice this breath work together. And you're going to see for yourself how it can change you, right? Now, the first thing before we get to the breath work, why is the breath work necessary? Basically, I'm trying to sell breath work to you right now. I'm trying to make it a good idea for something you need to do. So I need you to first understand why you really need it and how it's important. So we talked about how the nervous system is where you experience your pain and your anxiety. And we talked about where triggers, like in last week, we talked about it as well, that when you get triggered at any moment, it's your past that's coming up, but your past is coming to the present moment through your nervous system. I'm going to repeat this again. When you get triggered, your past is showing up in your present moment through your nervous system. So your nervous system is the channel in that moment for fears, doubts, anxieties, dysregulation, and everything else. And at the seat of your nervous system is your brain. The king of your nervous system is the brain. And the subconscious brain, the subconscious mind, is actually where you store all of your beliefs of yourself, your old painful memories, the things you believe you deserve and don't. And those come from your past experiences. So whenever you're getting triggered, all of that stuff is coming to the present moment. And you can't even see the present moment for what it is. You only see it for your past because everything else is coming up through your subconscious mind in that moment. So, how can we change that? Nervous system regulation is the first step of this process, the key. I talked about it in the last video of the triggers. You should watch that. But what's more important than that is recognizing how I can regulate the nervous system to create enough safety so that my subconscious mind is not what's projecting its fears. And instead, I'm seeing the present and getting in touch with where it is. And breath work is one of the most powerful and most easily accessible way, in my opinion, to regulate your nervous system. I'm going to give you a fact. Over 95% of the people who have worked with me have got off their anxiety medication. Because your anxiety medication and the antidepressants, by the way, your anxiety medication, your antidepressants are basically just chemicals you consume to basically to subside and to relax the mind and the nervous system through this chemical composition or formula. Now, it sounds easy, it sounds nice, but over a period of time, it creates a dependency and it changes the structure and the framework of your brain, the way your nerves function. It's actually very unhealthy on a long term. Breathwork is one of the most powerful natural ways to do all of that. But it requires, as with most healthy things we know, it requires more commitment, discipline, and dedication. But over a period of time, it can change you completely. So I want to give you one of three powerful breathwork techniques that I use with all of my students in the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet is, I've mentioned it before, but it's the 8-week healing program, subconscious healing, reparenting. It's that 8-week program where I change people's lives through different tools, techniques, practices, and digging deep into their subconscious. And one of those breathwork techniques is called box breathing. Now, box breathing is actually what the US Marines, the Navy SEALs use when they're getting into high combat or high conflict situations so that their nervous system isn't attached to the fearful outcome, to the anxiety, to what's not going to happen. And instead, they can be totally in the present and they can work through whatever situation they're going to come across. Imagine if you had that superpower that no matter what showed up in your life, you could handle it really well and you wouldn't internalize it. Watch last video for more info. You wouldn't take it personally. You wouldn't break down yourself. You wouldn't let your old fears and wounds come up. You wouldn't let your lack of self-worth show up. You wouldn't let your lack of confidence take over or like be the dominant thing. Instead, you were confident, you were grounded, you were regulated. You could handle whatever it is. Imagine if you could do that when someone is, not choosing you or not loving you or quote unquote giving you too much and you're not ready for it. You'd be able to hold space and do it in the most efficient, best way to handle your relationship rather than run away and destroy it. So here's the box breathing we're going to do together. Okay. Find yourself a quiet place. You can put on your headphones if you want. That helps like eliminate some of the external noise. And the key thing here is to remember in box breathing that it's like a box. That's the best part. It's so easy to understand, which is why I'm teaching it to you. A box has four equal sides, like a square, right? So four sides. Now, in each of those sides, you're going to be breathing for the same amount of time. You will breathe in, that's the bottom, for 4 seconds. Okay. You will hold your breath for 4 seconds after you breathe in. Then you will breathe out for 4 seconds. And then you will hold again for 4 seconds. Altogether, that's 16 seconds. 16 seconds of just trying something new that can change your life. But we're going to do many of these boxes. We're going to do this for about a minute together. Okay. Because I'm just trying to make this video, I'm trying to condense it. I want to teach you more of this in my gauntlet. I want to give you more of this life experience. Imagine over 8 weeks if you could practice this continuously. You'd literally be a master of regulating your nervous system, of feeling grounded and safe and composed, and change the way you show up in your life. But we'll practice 1 minute together. Okay. So I want you to close your eyes. You can plant your feet on the ground, grounding. Place one palm on top of the other in your lap, facing upwards, as if you're receiving something from God, the universe, from this moment. Let your breathing and your breath slowly first start to normalize. You may feel nervous or anxious. Just slowly start to regulate it, regularize it right now. And together, we're going to do the box breathing. 4 second inhale, 4 second hold, 4 second exhale through the nose, 4 second hold. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. Okay. You can open up your eyes. Just take note of how you feel right now. Just honestly for yourself. You don't have to fake it and be like, oh my God, I feel like my life's changed. Everything's really great. And do you feel more regulated? Do you feel more grounded? Do you feel at least a little more calm? We did that only for a minute. Now, in our practices, we do that obviously for a lot more period of time. And in every one of our sessions, we do nervous system regulation. In fact, as part of the homework we give people over 8 weeks, we're trying to break their old patterns, right? We're trying to create safety. Safety needs to be the norm of how you exist: calm, regulated, grounded, capable to handle anything and open for all the amazing things that come your way. So over 8 weeks, this is your homework every day. And in the sessions with the facilitators, you practice. This is only one type. We've got three types of life changing breath work. And we do so many more, but three that you will be taking with you to practice continuously. And if you just, even this is just one part of the whole process. It's a CARES process. And this one part is just the breathing part. It's not even this is the co regulation. Then you've got the abundance creation, the authenticity. You've got reparenting, empowerment, and subconscious reprogramming. This is the kind of work that changes lives. And I know because I've done it for myself and I've done it for thousands of people around the world. I actually have this routine every single morning for myself of breath work, of my regulation, so that whatever comes my way, I have to handle so many people's stories, my relationship with my partner, my old fears and anxieties, and I can handle them well because I've learned to regulate my nervous system and change my life. All my fears, anxieties, everything start to settle. And instead, I embrace and love the present moment. So If you want to do that with us, if you want to change your life, if you want to actually do the deep healing work and get into the subconscious mind that no therapy really works on, that they don't really do. I used to do that before, and it's just talking and you feel better, like a little bit, but then you keep needing to go back for years, for months. You spend so much money and time. But if you want to learn to break those patterns, to get into your subconscious mind and heal it, to regulate your nervous system, to break past your triggers, to let go of your anxious attachment or anything else that's holding you back, and to have love in your life, then come join me on my 8-week healing program called the Gauntlet. Don't even believe me. Just don't take my word. Click on the link below to learn more about the Gauntlet. View the testimonials and the stories. People cry in those videos and tell you how much it's changed their life. So watch those videos. And if you know that this is for you, don't second guess it. Don't think, don't break down your old stories. Don't let your old stuff come up and your anxiety and fear and then like repeat the same thing. Like again, take this chance for yourself. I really wish you all the love in my heart. I hope to see you on there. Click on the link below to learn more about the Gauntlet and to sign up ASAP. And I will see you in there.